In an age where every word spoken on live television can explode into a cultural moment, last night's fiery clash between Senator John Kennedy and actor Robert De Niro left millions stunned. What began as a standard debate on national television quickly escalated into a storm of raw emotion, sharp words, and an unforgettable showdown that has already gone viral across social media platforms. From the moment the cameras switched on, the tension was palpable. Robert De Niro, known not only for his legendary acting career but also his outspoken political views, entered the discussion ready to defend his stance with passion. His voice carried the weight of decades of fame, experience, and activism. But on the other side of the stage stood Senator John Kennedy, a calm, collected, yet razor-sharp with his words. For those watching, it felt less like a debate and more like a collision of two worlds. Hollywood emotion versus political wit. The first sparks flew when De Niro passionately criticized Kennedy's policies, raising his voice and pointing a finger as if delivering a monologue straight from one of his iconic films. But instead of shrinking under the pressure, Kennedy leaned forward, looked directly into De Niro's eyes, and delivered a cutting response that silenced the room. His words weren't just arguments, they were delivered with the kind of sharp Southern wit that made the live audience erupt. Viewers at home described the moment as jaw-dropping. 1 minute, De Niro was charging forward, fueled by anger. The next he was visibly shaken, his voice faltering as Kennedy dismantled his points one by one. It was as if the senator had peeled back every layer of De Niro's argument until nothing but emotion remained. Yet, what made the clash so gripping wasn't just Kennedy's intellectual take on it, it was De Niro's furious reaction. Red-faced, visibly rattled, and struggling to regain control, the Hollywood icon snapped back with personal jabs and fiery retorts. Clips of his heated outbursts spread across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube within minutes. Some users called it the meltdown of the year, while others defended De Niro, applauding his willingness to speak his truth even when under fire. The internet divided instantly. Supporters of Kennedy hailed his composure as a masterclass in debate, celebrating the way he stood firm under pressure. Meanwhile, De Niro's loyal fans rallied behind him, arguing that passion matters just as much as reason. What united both sides, however, was the undeniable fact that this was no ordinary TV moment. It was a cultural flashpoint that spoke to the broader divide in American society. Behind the glitz, anger, and viral sound bites lies a deeper human story. On one side, a politician hardened by years of navigating the brutal world of Washington. On the other, an actor who built his life playing roles where emotion is the weapon of choice. Each brought their strengths, but both walked away changed. By the time the segment ended, there was no handshake, no laughter, only the weight of what had just unfolded. Kennedy's closing words are delivered with an almost surgical calm hung in the air long after the cameras cut. De Niro, still fuming, left the stage without speaking to reporters. But perhaps the most powerful part of this story isn't the clash itself, it's the reaction it sparked in viewers. Millions of Americans found themselves reflecting on what truly matters when we debate. Do we lead with reason, or do we lead with passion? Do we fight to win, or do we fight to understand? In the end, John Kennedy's composure and wit earned him the title of victor in the eyes of many. But Robert De Niro's fury, his refusal to back down, reminded us that passion is the fuel of change even when it burns a little too hot. And maybe that's the lesson here, that in a world where voices clash louder than ever, it's not about who shouts the loudest, but who leaves us thinking long after the shouting stops. As the clip continues to circulate across the internet, inspiring memes, heated comment threads, and endless debates, one thing is certain: this unforgettable exchange between John Kennedy and Robert De Niro will be remembered as more than just a TV spat. It was a mirror, reflecting the struggles, frustrations, and hopes of a divided nation. And perhaps, just perhaps, it's a reminder that whether we stand in the halls of Congress or on the Hollywood stage, our words carry weight, and the way we use them can change the course of history.